Good evening and welcome to NEWSBREAK Live. I'm Hibah. Thanks for joining us. Torrance fire crews responded to the scene of a cooking fire inside a McDonald's this morning. The incident happened around 10 a.m. at the McDonald's located at the intersection of Crenshaw Boulevard and Amsler Street. Eastbound traffic on Amsler was closed from Crenshaw until the fire was put out. Employees say they were cooking when a grease fire got out of hand. They jumped right into action, evacuating the customers inside and trying to extinguish the flames.
And we tried to grab the fire extinguisher, didn't put it out, and then smoke was everywhere. We couldn't see in there, so we got evacuated by the fire department, and then they came and saved the day.
McDonald's will be closed for the remainder of the day, and tomorrow, because of the damages, no injuries were reported. The Torrance South Bay YMCA helped locals take steps to protect themselves from the flu. With deaths increasing and flu season at its peak, the Torrance South Bay YMCA hosted a free flu shot clinic from 3 to 5 p.m. today. Flu shots were provided in collaboration with Arconic and Western Medical Group. The Centers for Disease and Control is calling it the worst flu season in 8 years. At least 30 children have died. The best way to protect yourself from the flu is to wash your hands and stay away from people who may have symptoms. If you're sick, cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze. Construction crews were busy with street improvements today. They are currently doing water main relocation at the intersection of 182nd Street and Van Ness Avenue in order to eventually install a storm drain in 182nd Street and Persh Avenue. Work started this week and impacts are in effect from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. They're also continuing the installation of a new catch basin and storm drain on Torrance Boulevard near Crenshaw Boulevard from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Delays are expected. Eastbound 182nd Street and eastbound Torrance Boulevard will be reduced to one lane. 186th Street improvements at Columbia Park included construction of sidewalks, wheelchair ramps, handicapped parking, and curb gutter work. A Torrance Police Department's captain is appointed to a new role. Captain John McGeff is now the Deputy Chief of Police. In his 30-year career, he's worked across a variety of assignments. Few of these include working in the Patrol Bureau as Watch Commander, Field Sergeant, and Patrol Officer. McGeff has also worked in the Special Investigations Bureau and in administration. He was appointed on January 21st. You now have the chance to see how people used to type in the early 1900s. The Torrance Historical Society just opened their vintage typewriters display. Over a dozen of the historic typewriters, including a 1912 Corona folding typewriter, 1920s Remington Standard, 1930s Maroon Corona Portable, and others. Visitors will have the chance to even use it during an event that will be hosted to try the typewriters out on January 28th from 2 to 4 p.m. They'll be provided with a practice piece of paper and then some stationery to type a special note. It's free and open to the public. The Torrance Historical Society Museum is open from 1 to 4 p.m. Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Once again, a local brewery will participate in the 10th annual LA Beer Festival. This year, the event will feature dozens of international and domestic beers. Torrance's Cosmic Brewery will be taking part. Tickets are now on sale for the large festival that is sold out every year. It'll take place at LA Center Studios. There are various sessions you can pay for. There'll also be live entertainment and food trucks. All proceeds from the festival will benefit Noah's Bee Ark, Inc., whose aim is to rescue dogs from shelters and find permanent homes for rescued pets. For tickets, go to labeerfest.la. Well, you can always pick up some fresh produce at the Torrance Certified Farmers Market, including strawberries. It's the first week that Harry's Berries from Ventura County are back in Torrance. The California Family Farm was established in 1967 and are known for their variety of strawberries and vegetables. They're dedicated to growing their produce without any chemicals. In 2016 alone, the family sold 500,000 pounds of strawberries and will be celebrating their 51st anniversary. In Southern California, they make up 70% of farm sales. They are at the Torrance Certified Farmers Market Saturday and Tuesday.
With ours, you're not going to get a bad berry. We have up to 5 different varieties that we grow. They're all sweet, they're all firm, they're all fresh, they're red all the way to the stem. There's no other berry like them.
Today is the perfect day to satisfy your sweet tooth with some pie. January 23rd marks National Pie Day, and that means you can take advantage of some sweet deals. If you join the Black Angus Steakhouse Prime Club, you can get a free dessert. Mary Callender's is offering a free slice of pie with the purchase of an entree. National Pie Day is an annual celebration of pies that started in the mid-1970s. Since 1986, National Pie Day is sponsored by the American Pie Council. And today also marks a day to recognize the art of handwriting. It's National Handwriting Day, which was started to reintroduce oneself to a pen or pencil and a piece of paper. The day builds awareness to the benefits of handwriting, celebrating its 41st year. The Writing Instrument Manufacturers Association says it's a chance to re-explore the purity and power of handwriting. The 23rd was chosen because it's John Hancock's birthday, who was the first person to sign the Declaration of Independence. A German cosmetics company is coming back to Torrance. Weckerly Cosmetics is moving into the former Panasonic building at 525 Maple Avenue by February. The company was in Torrance for about 7 years before relocating, but now they're planning to come back for a long-term lease and hopeful to buy the property one day. The company makes products and packages for well-known makeup brands like Revlon, L'Oreal, MAC, Smashbox, and more. They hope to bring nearly 200 employees to their U.S. headquarters. A business in Torrance had a big announcement today. Comtech received an award of more than $11 million from NASA. The company's Command and Control Technologies Group, which is part of Comtech's Government Solutions segment, received a contract to source and test space-level electrical, electronic, and electromechanical parts in support of NASA's program. It's not the first large order they've received from the large U.S. space contractor. For over 40 years, the Space and Component Technology Division in Torrance has specialized in supply of high-reliability EEE parts for use in satellite and launch vehicle applications. Now let's get to the weather. Today the weather was beautiful. There was a high of 70 with an expected low of 52 degrees tonight. Tomorrow will be a high of 72 with an expected low of 54. Then on Thursday, you can expect it to get a little bit cooler with a high of 63 and an expected low of 50. You can still make a difference in helping combat homelessness across Los Angeles County. The annual Greater Los Angeles Homeless Count will take place tomorrow. The city of Torrance is participating once again, and for the first year, it'll be a deployment site. You can still sign up for the event. City officials are partnering up with the Torrance Police Department, South Bay Coalition to End Homelessness, and Family Promise of South Bay to recruit and train volunteers. The count helps officials quantify the homeless epidemic that affects cities while also using data to make sure resources are made available to help the homeless. The event has been coordinated by the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority for the past 6 years. For more information, go to theycountwillyou.org. The City of Torrance Commission on Aging is looking to honor volunteers. Nominations for the 2018 Older American Awards are currently being accepted. Nominees are to live in Torrance and should be at least 50 years or older. In the application, it also asks for volunteer efforts, personal accomplishments, and details about their family. Awards will be presented by the mayor and members of the Torrance City Council in May, which is also Older American Month. The deadline for the applications are February 9th. You can email dreed@torranceca.gov at the Community Services Department. And before the next half of NewsBreak Live, here are some events you may want to take part in this week. The 4th South Bay Legislative Meet and Greet is around the corner this Friday. It will take place at the Nakano Theater, the Torrance Cultural Arts Center from 8:30 to 10 a.m. Then this Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon, you can attend a free turf removal class at West High School. You can learn how to remove your turf and successfully convert your landscape to a native or drought-tolerant plant palette. You can also register online or call Then the Dalma Fashion Center will get a special celebrity visitor. You can meet Demi Lovato at Fabletics at the Fashion Center from 1 to 3 p.m. Lovato will be there to represent her line with Fabletics. Well, in just 2 minutes, Dr. and President of El Camino College, Dina Maloney, will join me live to talk about current projects on campus and future ones you can expect. We'll be back in just a few.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But here's the thing, can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Can one piece of paper really tell you my whole story? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or how anytime there was an opportunity, I was the first one to step up. Because I wasn't gonna let my life, my circumstances dictate who I was gonna become. And all of that determination, the commitment, the drive, that's me. And that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume, discover new ways to develop great talent, like me.
Welcome back to the second half of NewsBreak Live, and joining me is President and Superintendent from El Camino College, Dr. Dina Maloney. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Dr. Maloney, there's always exciting projects and programs in the works at El Camino College. So let's first start talking about what 2018 will bring, which is a lot of construction, correct?
That's right. So in 2002 and then again in 2012, the voters in our district approved general obligation bonds that allowed us to modernize and update the campus. Right now we have 4 projects underway. We have a new student services building. It's going to open later on this year. It's going to replace a building that was built in the 1940s. So it's going to be completely modern and bring all of the services that a student would need to enter the college and on their way out when they're going to graduate. There'll be counselors and all kinds of resources in the building. We're also building a new administration building. That's an $18 million project. That's going to break ground soon. And you might have seen the old administration building has recently been demolished and we're about ready to start construction. We are also building a new pool and classrooms project. That will break ground a little later this year, but currently underway and well into construction is a new gymnasium. And that's going to house our badminton, volleyball, and basketball team sports as well as classrooms. That's under construction and should open in the next 12 to 14 months.
What will some of these renovations, what kind of impact will it have on student life, especially the gymnasium and the extracurricular activities?
Yeah. Well, the buildings really reflect our educational master plan and the curricular innovations that we're undertaking at El Camino College. Athletics is a very important component to our program, but these buildings will support all students because their classrooms, there's new technology, student services will provide financial aid, counseling, our Veterans Center, all kinds of programs for all students. So I think these buildings really reflect where El Camino is going in terms of the kinds of curriculum we're offering and the sorts of programs we're making available to students.
And on top of the great renovations that are underway, a few months ago we were actually at the ribbon cutting for El Camino College's Warrior Pantry, which had its grand opening. And it's such a great mission, and it's also following a huge trend that's happening across the country. So if you can tell our viewers what it's all about.
Sure. The Warrior Pantry opened a few months ago, and it was actually a student-led initiative. Unfortunately, there are a lot of students at college campuses across the state and across the nation that have food insecurities. And so we opened the Warrior Pantry. It's funded and staffed by students and faculty, and it's not faculty, I'm sorry, funded by students and our student services folks. And it really is designed to help students who have food insecurities have access to non-perishable food items. People can support the pantry through donations through our foundation or through donations of non-perishable food items at bins in the library, in our student activities building, and throughout the campus. And it is really serving a need because unfortunately we do have students that have food insecurities and need access to a pantry such as the Warrior Pantry.
Is there a current need at the Warrior Pantry right now? I know it's fairly new. So
Yes.
are there certain type of items that you're asking the
Yes.
community to donate? Because it is completely all donations, right?
It is. And we're developing partnerships with local grocers and other food associations that can help us stock it. But we always will need donations of non-perishable food items, noodle cups and things of that nature that students, of course, would enjoy and be able to use. When the new Student Services building opens, we're going to relocate the food pantry to that facility, so everything supporting students is under one roof right there.
It's a different type of initiative, and I think it's special that the students started it. And how is it for you as the president of the campus to be part of such an initiative that is helping students in a different way, not necessarily with education?
So students face a lot of barriers, not just academic barriers, but barriers in terms of housing and transportation and food. And it's really gratifying to see that our student association recognized that and helped us move forward with a partnership with Metro for the U-Pass for transportation, the Warrior Pantry for food insecurities, and other sources of support so that our students can focus on the academic program and not be worried about those sorts of things.
And El Camino College has a lot of great programs, and one that we're just going to start talking about, it has to do with enrollment. So before we get into that, how many students are currently enrolled at El Camino College?
We serve about 32,000 students per year, and many of them are part-time students. About a third of our student body is full-time, carrying 12 or more units, and then the rest of the students are part-time, less than 12 units.
And speaking of enrollment, El Camino College supports a great program called South Bay Promise. I don't know if many people know about it, but tell me when it was initiated and how it's unfolded over the years.
So the South Bay Promise started in 2014. It was a partnership with the South Bay Workforce Investment Board, El Camino College, Centinela Valley Union High School District, and the Inglewood Unified School District. We started small. Also, Cal State Dominguez Hills was another important partner. But we started small with about 30 students from each high school district. And the promise really is all about providing access to higher education. So students who are in the promise do not pay their enrollment fees. Those are covered through the promise. And they receive the support and systems in place that will help them be successful in completing their program of study and either going into the workforce or transferring. In 2017, we added the Torrance Unified School District to the partnership. So now we have 30 students in the partnership and in the Promise program at El Camino College. But in the fall of 2018, we're scaling up to provide this to 500 students.
Wow.
Our foundation is fundraising to support that. And in addition, the state of California last year passed a law that would enable these kinds of promises to be made up and down the state at all 114 colleges in California. The governor's budget proposal includes funding of $46 million to help fund that promise. But in the meantime, we're continuing to work on local efforts so that we can provide students with not only access to higher education, but also the services that they need to be successful and to transfer, graduate, or go into the workforce.
And the South Bay Promise program offers not just an education, but it offers other great resources like you mentioned. Can you talk about some of those?
Sure. Students entering the Promise will go into one of 3 different cohort programs. They're learning communities that help support one another as they go through their program of study. So we have a first-year experience program, so students could go into that. They could go into our extended opportunities and program services, or they could also go into our honors transfer program. But they'll go into one of those 3 programs that provides them access to tutors, counseling, kinds of educational planning, and the sort of resources that students need in order to persist and reach their goals.
The application process for the 2018 year is open right now. So who can apply? What are some of the requirements?
Any student who's graduating this year from a high school in our service area for El Camino, or a homeschool student for that matter, any student can apply who is graduating and intends to attend El Camino College on a full-time basis in fall of 2018. The application and other information is available on our website.
Great program, and we talked about some of the current projects and programs that are available right now, but what are some projects that are maybe in the works for later on this year and in the future that you think the community would be interested in?
We're working on a concept of what we're calling the South Bay public safety training program. And this is something that we have partnered with local public safety agencies to try to identify a location where we could offer not only our police and fire training programs to students at El Camino College, but that these other partners could use for their ongoing training for their incumbent workforce. Police and fire personnel have ongoing training requirements, and oftentimes they have to go far away from the South Bay to participate in those trainings. We're hoping that we can develop this over the next few years and be able to provide the community with a local resource that can train police, fire, EMTs, public safety first responder people, and also be a resource for our local agencies that need the access to this training as well.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And I'd also like to take this opportunity to ask you about El Camino College and just the bigger picture for students who may be interested in going to a college like El Camino. You know, what are some of the perks? I know El Camino College has one of the highest transfer rates, which the school prides itself in, but just tell me about the campus.
We're a comprehensive community college. We offer everything from the liberal arts education to career and technical education to STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, athletics. We're a comprehensive college here in the South Bay. And I think one of the things that makes us unique is the wraparound services that we provide. So when students enter El Camino College, they have access to incredible faculty, wonderful resources for tutoring, supplemental instruction, educational planning, advising from counselors, career advising. Many students enter the college and they're not quite sure yet what they want to do with their education. So we have counselors that are available to help them narrow down their career choices. We're one of the top 10 colleges in California for transferring students to the University of California system. And we're one of the top 3 for transferring students to the California State University system. So if you enter El Camino College and your goal is to transfer, you're in the right place.
It sure sounds like there's a lot of great programs there, especially for someone who does want to transfer. And El Camino College also has great events happening year-round that the community can also stop by and participate in. And I'm going to focus on some events that are happening this week, which is the 3 Dynamic Nights of Dance. It's part of the 30th Annual International Conference and Festivals of Blacks in Dance. So tell me a little bit about that. And I know there's a lot of different concerts and different events that happen that are so diverse.
Right. So this particular weekend, the 25th through the 27th, we're offering this 3 Dynamic Nights of Dance program. Lula Washington Dance Company is the lead in this area. And every single night of those 3 nights is going to be a different dance performance with youth and different styles of dance. So somebody could come one night and see one style and come the next night and see something completely different. And that's kind of part of our mission too, is to provide those kinds of cultural enrichment opportunities to students in the community. We offer a lot of different things in terms of film, dance, music. We have students who are excellent in choral and vocal performances. We have a group that's going to go to the Carnegie Hall in New York City this spring. So the faculty in our fine arts department and throughout the college really is outstanding, and the kinds of programs that we offer are something that people in the community can take advantage of for a very low cost.
Well, Dr. Maloney, thank you so much for your time. It was great speaking with you.
Thank you so much.
And you can always stay connected with all the great events and the programs at El Camino College by going to elcamino.edu. Well, that does it for NewsBreak Live. And if you ever have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. For Facebook and Twitter users, use #NewsBreakLive. Have a great night.